Around 2300 BCE, war was still personal. Kings fought like champions. Armies followed tradition. Then one man treated war like a system, and nothing stayed the same. On this channel, we don't tell history as legend. We don't rush toward heroes or villains. We slow down. We study decisions, structures, and consequences. Because the moments that truly change history rarely announce themselves. This isn't just the story of Sargon of Akkad, it's the story of why war stopped being seasonal, local, and limited. It's about how violence became organized, permanent, and scalable. And why, after Sargon, no kingdom could afford to fight the old way ever again. Before Sargon, Mesopotamia was crowded with cities, not nations. Each city had its own god, its own king, its own walls. Your Lagash or Makish, they fought often, but not endlessly. War followed patterns. Campaigns were seasonal, timed around harvests. Armies were temporary. Farmers became soldiers, then returned to their fields. Victory meant tribute, land adjustments, or symbolic dominance. It did not mean total destruction. No city expected to rule all the others. There was no system designed for that. Power was local, memory was short, and no one imagined a single authority stretching from mountain to sea. That balance had lasted for centuries, which meant it felt permanent, but it wasn't. Pressure was building beneath the surface. Trade routes were expanding, population was rising. Cities depended on resources they didn't control. Conflict was no longer just about honor or borders. It was about survival inside a growing, interconnected system. The old rules were no longer sufficient. What Mesopotamia needed but did not yet realize was a different kind of ruler. Sargon did not begin as a king. According to later accounts, he was born obscurely, not into a dynasty, not into divine certainty. What mattered was not his origin but his position. Sargon served within the system. He observed it from below. He learned how cities governed, how armies moved, how loyalty worked. When he seized power in Akkad, his ambition was not revolutionary in language. He did not announce a new world, but his decisions were something Mesopotamia had never seen. Sargon did not fight to win battles. He fought to remove the conditions that allowed resistance to return. That was the turning point. War was no longer an event. It became a process. Sargon faced a problem no earlier king had seriously attempted to solve. How do you control dozens of cities that are accustomed to independence? Not temporarily, not symbolically, but continuously. Force alone was not enough. If he destroyed cities, he lost their labor, their trade, their taxes. If he ruled gently, rebellion would follow the moment his army left. Every campaign carried risk. Every victory created new fronts. This required restraint. Instead of relying on city militias, Sargon maintained a standing army, not seasonal, not symbolic, permanent. Soldiers were no longer farmers with spears. They were professionals, supplied by the state. This changed everything. A standing army could move faster, campaign longer, strike preemptively, but it also required food, pay, logistics, and discipline. Sargon did not just fight wars, he managed supply chains. He placed loyal officials over conquered cities, not local kings, not hereditary rulers, governors accountable to a king. He standardized control. This created tension everywhere. Cities rebelled, coalitions formed, old elites resisted quietly then openly. Sargon did not rush to crush every revolt. Sometimes he waited, sometimes he isolated. Discipline replaced impulse, and that patience became his most dangerous weapon. When Sargon marched, it was not for display. It was to end uncertainty. He defeated Lugal-Zagazi, the most powerful ruler of the time, and did not simply replace him. He dismantled the system that had supported him. Walls fell. Armies were absorbed or disbanded. Tribute became taxation. Most importantly, Sargon stayed. Conquered cities were not left to reset. They were integrated. Roads were secured. Trade routes protected. Resources redistributed. Violence served administration, not glory. This was why it worked. Rebellions still occurred, but they were smaller, shorter, isolated, because Sargon had changed the cost of resistance. To fight him was no longer to win a battle, it was to oppose an entire structure, and structures are harder to kill than kings. Sargon's empire did not last forever. No empire does, but his model did. Standing armies, provincial governors, centralized logistics, permanent military readiness. These were not inventions of Akkad alone, but Sargon was the first to combine them at scale. After him, warfare could not return to ritual or seasonality. Future rulers learned a brutal lesson. If you do not maintain control continuously, someone else will. Assyrian kings refined it, Persian rulers expanded it, Roman emperors perfected it. The idea that war is an extension of administration begins here, not with philosophy, not with law, but with a king who understood that violence, if left unmanaged, destroys the very thing it tries to protect. Sargon did not change war by fighting harder, he changed it by organizing it. Sargon of Akkad didn't just conquer cities, he reshaped how power moves through time. And once war became systemic, history itself accelerated. If you want to explore the next moment where a single decision altered the structure of civilization, let us know in the comments. If this story helped you see the ancient world differently, consider liking the video and subscribing, because history doesn't repeat itself, but its systems endure.